Today is the memorial of Our Lady of Sorrows, the sadness, the desolation of our Heavenly Mother, the Blessed Virgin Mary. Mater Dolorosa, Mother of Sorrows. But why do we remember the sorrow of Mary? Why is it important? In the Gospel for today, Simeon uh, tells Mary about the fate of the child in her womb. Behold, this child is destined for the fall and rise of many in Israel, and to be a sign that will be contradicted, and you yourself a sword will pierce, so that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. Of course, we know why Jesus will be the sign of contradiction, because those who refuse to turn away from sin will have to face reality. And those who are suffering from sin and wanting to be one with God will be saved by Jesus Christ. But why mention about Mary's heart being pierced so that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed? It is because Mary is a key figure in our story of salvation. Why? Because Mary becomes our mother. The alternate gospel for today is when Jesus tells John, behold your mother, after giving Mary to him. Brothers and sisters, Mary is our mother. And the sorrow of Mary is not just because her son Jesus will die in the cross, but also because we, her children, are suffering in sin. But there is a key lesson to be learned from the sorrow of Mary. At the death of Jesus, which is the peak of her sorrow, she was there at the feet of Jesus, comforting him, being with him, remaining in him. Even though she might be putting her life in danger, but more importantly, even if it pierces her heart, any mother who loves her son will be pained, will be killed by seeing her child suffering in such a way. And yet, Mary was at the foot of the cross. You might be suffering, but remaining in Jesus is our goal. More so, of course, Jesus' sacrifice is perfect. Jesus as God does not need us. But being God, he humbled himself and gives us a little space, as the saints and the church would say, so that we will be able to uh, take part in his suffering. Brothers and sisters, the sorrow of Mary is taking part in the suffering of Jesus. And yes, Mary's sorrow reminds us to stay with Jesus despite the challenges, but it also reminds us that we can take part in the story of salvation by remaining in Jesus and by lifting all our suffering, bringing it to the cross, and uniting it with the sacrifice of Jesus. And again, here we see our mother inviting us, holding our hands, bringing us to the cross, so that after the cross, after being one in the cross with Jesus, we have the hope of rising again. And just as Mary, showing us the way through her life, shows us also that after resurrecting with Jesus, we are assumed into heaven, just as she did. Just as we remember the story or the lesson that we learned from the Assumption of Mary, we are also reminded in the sorrow, Our Lady of Sorrow Memorial, that the life of Mary, while sorrowful, will lead us to where we want to be, if only we will remain faithful, despite the cross, despite the sorrow, despite the suffering. So when you pray today, come to Mary and thank her for giving herself to us and guiding us. And pray to her that she will continue to be our mother because we desperately need her in our lives.